Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today I just want to talk a little bit about my piercing because on my, I think it wasn't the last video, it was like the video 2 videos ago when I first came up with the first video. I think it was Dark Fantasy video. I think that was it. When I got at least 3 comments saying, can you talk to us a little bit about your piercing? You know, I like it or whatever. And I was like, okay, I think it was mostly the Spanish, my Spanish subscribers. But since I like to leave everything even throughout, like, you know, my entire platform, I like to leave both the English and the Spanish subscribers. So if one side asks me for one thing, I'll usually record the same in the different language. Just so I don't want to just put out only a Spanish video regarding my piercing and then have someone say, oh, are we going to get an English version of it? You know, so like, I like to love all my kids. I don't want nobody to feel like the middle child, okay? I got this piercing, I want to say, I think that Dark Fantasy video was about, it was 2 months ago. So 2 months ago around there, I had been wanting to get a piercing for a while. I was debating, because I also wanted the side one. But I was debating this or something on my ears. And I think in July, I mentioned it to my sister. I was like, oh, I've been wanting to go get a piercing. And my sister said, oh yeah, I want to get the nose piercing. And I was like, really? I want to get the septum. She's like, for real? I'm down, let's go. And it was this funny moment between my sister and I. We're the same type of people. We're so down for like whatever. Versus my other 2 sisters are just more, I want to say traditional. They just don't think, my sister Barbara and I are just more crazier, I guess. And I had mentioned this months ago to my husband, which he wasn't for at all, because my husband comes from a very just conservative family as well. And he was, when I met him, I wanted to get piercings and tattoos. It was already in the plan. And because he didn't like tattooed women and he didn't like piercings, I sort of set it on the back burner. But then I just got to an age where I don't care anymore, okay? I want to die happy and I want to die fulfilled doing what I want to do. Because at the end of the day, I told him, you can either love me with this piercing or love me without. But I'm going to get it done. Because he straight up told me nothing on the face. I said, no, you don't get to choose that. I don't get to tell. I mean, if I can't tell you what you need to do or whatever, I'm not going to, you can't expect me to follow you too. I mean, I don't know. I don't tell you to not do stuff. So why should you get to tell me what I should have on my face or not? I just think it's completely unfair. And at the end of the day, I know that this is not something for everyone. I've heard all kinds of comments from my own family members, you know. I don't like it. Oh, I just don't like it. Or you look like a bull, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, God. I don't really care. I don't need to hear it. So don't leave me a negative comment. It's going to get deleted. It's like, at the end of the day, live your life. Because, you know, it's kind of too short. I could die tomorrow in a car crash and it won't even matter if I had this piercing or not. I can tell you guys that right now. Just live your life. Don't bother giving someone else's opinion. So it started off with just me and my sister. And we ended up getting it. It was just random. She was like, Sarah, I'm so down. Let's do this. And she called me one day. She's like, hey, I told her I got money saved up. So just tell me when you want to go. She's like, yeah, let's go tomorrow. We went to downtown Sacramento. There's like this old-ish, townish area here in Sacramento. And it's old Sacramento. So it's all like original, I guess, Western style buildings. It's the original building. They kept it. People come and visit. It's like a whole thing here in Sacramento. But people who live here, we don't make a big deal about it. We're like, oh, you went to Old Sac. That's it. And they had a tattoo piercing shop there. My sister had called ahead of time and we couldn't find the place. We were like walking around, first of all, looking for parking. And then we managed to find parking. We get off and we go. I was like, just call the place and ask them where they are in this area. Like, okay, I'll call them. She calls them and we find the place and it's upstairs. And I told my sister, oh God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die on these stairs before I even get there. She's like, shut up and just go. we get up there, they take walk-ins. So it's really funny that the lady who attended us in the front right there area, the receptionist, she just said, "Oh, are you the ones that called for an appointment for, like, you know, to get these pierced?" And I was like, and my sister goes, "No, but we'll take it." I said, "Shut up, doing that." I said, "Hey, let's do it then." We were just joking with each other, just, you know. And so we said, "No, we're the ones that called about, you know, the septum and the nose." She takes us back there to the area, our piercer. Her name's Mackenzie. Really, really good. She was very helpful. My sister went first, and my sister made me hold her hand because I said, "Sis, you've had 2 C-sections. You can do this." Like, this is nothing. Come on. This is just like, she's like, "Hold my hand." I said, "Okay, God dang, go." And then, so it was just like a quick pinch for her. They had her like kind of like sit back, and she just went like this. Hers looked really, really nice. She just had a simple ball. They don't give you a lot of options as far as the jewelry that you pick out. It's very simple, especially when it came to mine. It was just like a simple horseshoe, or they said you could have got like, I think it was like a retainer type of thing where it was just, it looked like this. It was just metal, and I was like, "Oh God, no, just give me the other one." And mine was $80. My sister's on the side was $60. And so she went first, and then after she was done with hers, the lady did mine, and she uses these little clamps. She clamps, there's like a hole in between the clamps that holds it right here in this area, because there's a little thin area. I mean, if you guys ever filled inside of your nose, there's like a thin little line right there, and that's where they pierce you through. Now, as far as pain tolerance goes, I would say from like a 1 to 10, it's maybe like a 2 or a 3. That is just me though, because I have like a high pain tolerance, and it didn't hurt. It hurt enough to make my eyes water, because my nephew asked me that when he saw me, you know, my piercing for the first time. He's like, "Did it hurt, Thea?" "Oh, what you think? Seriously? Everything hurts." I go, I just remember that my sister was like, "Do you want me to hold your hand?" "Hell no, don't hold my hand. I've had 5 kids. I can do this." Like, period. And I was like, "Oh," I told my sister, my eyes started watering. I was like, okay, that hurt a little bit, but it wasn't like a huge deal to me. I think and you know, as far as we were told, my sister was told 2 months for hers to heal. I was told a month. But then I go on YouTube and I'm looking at how to properly care for your piercing, and all these people are saying like 6 months. 6 months? Seriously? You know, and they don't recommend you to flip it up unless it's fully healed, because I know people try to hide it, you know, certain kids, especially if you're like underage and you didn't get permission from your parents or whatever. But I never flipped mine up until recently, and I'm 2 months in. So mine's completely healed now. In the beginning, that first day, I remember feeling really tender around the nose area. I had very little bleeding, because it does bleed the first time you pierce it. And I remember just, I had to soak my nose in balls, like bath salts. So I would take like a little container this big, only about yay deep, and I would put a scoop of sea salt in there and mix it up really well. It had to be really warm water to the point where it would melt the salt, obviously. Okay, this is like water that you can tolerate the heat to. Don't burn yourself over this. And I would dip my nose completely in it, and I would just make air bubbles and let it sit there. That helped me a lot. I was doing that twice a day. And on top of that, my sister bought this solution off of it was Amazon, I believe. It had some type of tea tree oil. I had no idea what it has in there. I have it in the if anybody's interested, just leave me a comment and I'll write exactly what it was. But she bought it off of Amazon. We just dipped some Q-tips in there, and we put the Q-tips on one on each side. And then I would use the other end of the Q-tips to take out, because you get an insane, you would imagine you cannot pull out any boogers when this is in your, when it's healing, because it's painful. So any type of dry boogers that you get in that area will stick to your skin. And if you try to move it, it's painful, because you're like ripping you're not letting it heal properly, and you're like basically ripping more into the skin, which is painful. The way I describe it, it is painful. So you want to loosen up by putting either something warm, a liquid to like break up all those crusties that get on the corners. So like the dried blood, and I think by the third day we didn't really have any dried blood. Neither one of us did. We were like talking to each other, but I still had, you know, dried boogers that would get in there. So I would take the Q-tip and just, you know, loosen up my boogers and pull them out that way. It didn't feel comfortable enough to blow out because it was tender that first day especially, and then I just felt a little swollen that first day. I remember my husband trying to kiss me for the first time. I was like, oh my God, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't touch me right there. And it became this thing where we were having to kiss like this, just so he wouldn't touch it. I go, don't touch it. And he's like, oh my God. And everybody, like even my kids looked at me like, oh my God, Mom, you look so different. What is that? But they got used to it. He's like, it's going to take me getting used to it, but it looks nice. Even my sister said, once you put makeup on, I think it's going to look super pretty on you. And the only ones that really gave me any shit for it were like my mom, because, you know, my mom doesn't like it or whatever. And then, you know, I have another sister that didn't like it. My other sister just said to each of their own. Basically, she didn't like it. Definitely. I'm to a point where I really don't care anymore. It is what it is. For the most part, for my videos, I was planning to leave the majority of it up, you know, tucked in up. Like earlier, I did a video on the Bibe holiday collection. So you guys will see that video. I don't have it. I have it tucked in. And I just tucked it out for this video specifically, okay? So they said after about a month, you can change the jewelry out. I personally haven't changed the jewelry out at all. This is the original jewelry I got pierced with. I have been looking at other jewelry. Like I found this mermaid one, you guys. I'm so stoked for that little mermaid one. It has like, it's like a completely round and has a little mermaid swimming across it. And I was like, oh my God. I'm such a fanatic. This is one of the reasons why my channel is called Serenita, because I'm a huge fanatic of mermaids. So that mermaid's totally up my alley. I've been looking into other stuff too. I want to get another horseshoe, but I want like a rose gold one or a pure gold one. So I'm looking into like 14 karat gay type of thing. I'm the type of person that it has to be either like this is temporary, right? This is just something that I got at Walmart. It doesn't irritate me to an extent, but I can't wear it for more than a day because my earlobes will get irritated, and I have to literally clean with alcohol the earring and my earlobe before I put it in. This is something temporary. If it's there permanently, it has to be pure gold, because if not, my skin gets irritated, gets red, it gets green. It's just irritated all around. I don't know if I'm allergic to fake type of stuff or whatever. This is supposedly surgical steel, so it doesn't do anything, but I have been looking into either the same thing, surgical steel, so it won't irritate my skin, or like rose gold or something like that. Any other piercings I have, I basically only have the one over here, which is the one that I got years ago. I think I was like 18 when I got this one. I had two originally. One rejected. The other one stayed with me. And then I have this one and another one on the bottom. I've been wanting for years. Like I said, I didn't do them because my husband didn't like them. But now that I want to do them, I want to get two more on the bottom. I want to get this rook piercing right here. So rook is right around this area right here. And then a daith. I want to get a daith. And I'm thinking about getting another helix maybe on the other side. I'm not sure yet, but the helix ones, these ones on top, if you guys are interested in this one, that hurts like heck. And it took me like an entire year just to heal. So you've been warned. It hurts. I used to have my belly button pierced, but you know, kids destroyed everything. It's not there's nothing salvageable in there anymore. And I've always wanted to get tattoos, but it's just never happened for me. Now that I really want to get my first tattoo right here, my husband, I told him, because he asked me, what did you want for your the anniversary? And I said, I wanted either another piercing or a tattoo. And he's like, you want to go get like matching tattoos? And I was like, oh, I know I want to get a tattoo. I don't want to force you to do something. What if you get it and then you're going to just like, somebody's going to say, oh, you forced your husband into it. I'm like, I'm not forcing you into nothing. I know I want it for myself. I'm telling you, I love you the way you are. You don't need to get a tattoo to make me happy. I'm a very chill person when it comes to that. It's whatever makes you happy that makes me happy, okay? Don't tell me you want to go get a tattoo with me because, and then later on, it's going to get thrown in my face like, I got a tattoo for you. No, honey. No, we ain't doing this. You get it because you want to, right? That's the whole point of it. So I think the whole process of it was good after a month. Everything was like kind of healed to a point. Right now, it's really, really healed. I can tuck it in. I feel like it's harder to tuck it in versus tuck it out. When I tuck it in, I just literally go like this. And you just push it in. But I struggle more tucking it in versus tucking it out. When I tuck it out, it's like it won't go in. It fights me going in, but it doesn't fight going out. I don't know how to explain it. It's really funny. So you see, it goes all the way up, and it lays right here on top. Going in is fine. Actually, going in is really harder for me versus going out, especially with my nails done, because I have my nails done right now. I just like stick it in and that's it. It's really, really easy. I like the convenience of it. I don't plan to have every single video with my septum ring showing, but I don't plan to put it away because someone's uncomfortable with it, you know? Having something like that, you guys, some people, I really honestly think they need to stop being so judgmental, because it doesn't change who you are. It just means we all like different things. Obviously, piercing or piercing, jewelry, tattoos are tattoos. It doesn't change who you are right here. You're still a person. If you're a bitch, you will be that same way with or without a tattoo, let me tell you. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I really don't. I'm like an open book. I really don't care, you know. I have nothing to hide. I totally want to. I'm just like completely spontaneous when it comes to certain things like this. If you guys one day, you know, see a new video from me and I have a different hair color or whatever, believe me, it was like spontaneous. I don't. Sometimes I think about it before I do it, but then other times it's completely random. It's like, oh, I did this, and my husband's like, I think he just thinks I'm crazy. Honestly, I don't know what to think anymore. But I'm gonna let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.